What's up, you guys? It is Bob, and it's looking like the stimulus checks are finally coming out. They're being paid out by the IRS via direct deposit. And so what a lot of people are wondering is, am I actually going to get this check? And if so, how fast? Because it's looking like there is a line to get these checks. And it looks like this line is 100 million people long. That's a long line. So where are you in line, and how can you ensure that you're actually even in the line? So let's get into it. But first, those are the questions I will be answering in this video. And the only cost of admission for this video is hitting that like button, because that's how I get paid during COVID-19. And if you really like this series, you could subscribe. Why not? So who are the people that are actually getting the $1,200 check right now? Well, it's the people who have filed their 2018 and 2019 taxes, who also meet the requirement of making no more than $99,000, and to get the maximum $1,200, make no more than $75,000. This number doubles if you're married. But it doesn't matter whether or not you actually have a job. If you are unemployed and collecting benefits, you can get it now. You are eligible for the $1,200 check. Same goes for independent contractors who are not on a W-2. And Social Security retirees and people on disability are eligible, along with railroad retirees. And people who don't typically file with the IRS can get it as well. But more on you guys later, because there's a special way for you guys to actually be able to get it. It's new. Okay, that's great. You fit into that box we just discussed. But how do you actually know your individual status with where you stand for your $1,200 stimulus check? Well, the IRS is making a web portal right now to give you your own individual status, which is this site on the irs.gov. I've attached the link at the bottom. And you will go to this part, which is just to the right of the non-filers, the people who have filed. And when this button here turns blue, that means that you will actually be able to click it and check your own individual status. And when this comes up, this is actually going to be great, because the worst part about like this entire thing, whether you're getting a stimulus check, an EIDL, grant, loan, PPP, all this, is just the anxiety of not knowing where you stand right now. Because like, believe me, I'm in the same boat with the EIDL and PPP and everything. It's like, where are we right now? I don't know. And if I call like the SBA or something, it doesn't work. But with this, hopefully we'll be able to get some quick answers here. So I would bookmark this one and check it regularly so that when it does turn blue, you'll be there. And that brings me to another magical button that turns blue when you click it, which is the like button, which is right at the bottom of this video. Please click it. So everyone I've mentioned that have filed or Social Security or any of that, you guys are in the first batch. But that batch is like just about everyone, which is again, 100 million people. And the best signal out there right now that kind of shows you where your spot in line is by actually looking at the people who are going to be getting the paper check version of the stimulus check, because about 80% of you are going to be getting it via direct deposit. And the paper check version has a more defined line in who and where everyone is. And it is based on your income. So essentially, if you have a lower income, you're in the front of the line. And I think the mentality for that is rather obvious. So what they're trying to do is get it to the people who most likely need it the most right now. And the reason why I think this would work for people getting it direct deposit is it's the same logic, and it's coming from the same entity, the IRS. It's really just a different medium of how they're distributing the income. Now, let's say you are in the direct deposit group, which is again, just about everyone. How is the money actually getting sent to you? Well, it's being sent to your bank account, the one that you used with the IRS on your 2018 or 2019 tax returns. They will be using your account and routing number. And if you're in Social Security retirement, disability, railroads, it appears that they'll be sending the money through the same account that they regularly send money to. But what if you changed account or routing numbers? What if you changed banks or changed something in that time for whatever reason? How do you update that information? Super important. Well, what you do is you're going to have to contact the IRS to update it. And again, really the best way right now is to hopefully get this button to turn blue. They're saying it should be turning blue within the week, because when that turns on, they are saying that you will be able to check your account and routing number. So even if you're just nervous about this, you can double check there, but you'll also be able to change it to help ensure that you're actually going to get this $1,200 stimulus check, which is, nice. But again, keep in mind that this button only works for people who have filed in their 2018 or 2019 tax returns. Now, what I've been hearing is that the IRS will actually contact you before they actually send you the money in a whole lot of cases. But obviously, from contacting you to actually getting the money, there could be a delay in time. And we don't really know how long that time is. They're just giving a general realm of 2 weeks. So what would be really helpful is if you've been contacted by the IRS, just let us know when you've been contacted and by what medium. Have you been emailed? If so, what email sent it? And what was the subject of the email? Because if any of you have the same type of email as me with an overly aggressive spam box, this would be one of the worst emails to just miss. So providing that basic information would be really helpful to everyone. And also, If you've gotten the $1,200, how long did it take from when they sent that email? What is the normal time span here? We don't know. Now I want to spend 20 seconds on you non-filers. All you got to do to file and make yourself eligible for the $1,200 check is go to this site and make sure you meet all these basic metrics in this box. If you do, go through this process. It's really quick, and I really suggest you get in on that direct deposit, because if not, you will be waiting, they are saying, up to 5 months. And if you really need this money, that's a long time to wait. Now let's go into the worst case scenario for all of you guys. Let's say the IRS contacts you, or even if they don't, let's just say it just never shows up. The money never shows up. What happens? One thing you need to realize about this check is it is technically a tax rebate, which means you should be able to get it eventually because it'll be reflected on your 2020 tax return. So while it took a long time, at least you should, in theory, so long as you qualify, will get it. Now, as you can see, there's a whole lot going on with these stimulus checks, the CARES Act, all these bills, and it is not over. We're still in the beginning here, guys. And these are crazy times, and so it's really important to stay informed. So I encourage all of you to look at the IRS website, government websites, and to subscribe to this channel, because what I do is I take all of this information and I make it as concise and as applicable to all of you as possible. And again, to make this really valuable to you guys is to just comment. If you've been contacted by the IRS, if you've gotten the $1,200, basic information on that stuff can go a really long way to help the people who haven't gotten these checks yet. I hope this money comes to you guys, especially if you really, really need it. So with that said, I wish the best for all of you guys. I know these are crazy times, but if we stick together, keep clear minds, and try to remain as positive as possible, and while focusing on good, active solutions, I think that we will best be able to get through this. And one thing that helps me get through this is, again, hitting that like button. You wouldn't believe how much hitting that like button helps me and my small business. So that's it for this one, guys. Have a good one. Bye.